Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to be able to present Testing 101. The main thing I want you to know when you're thinking about testing, placement testing, and college placement is don't stress. We got your back, and I really want that to be the one thing you leave this presentation. So there's a lot of information, it's a little lengthy, so just sit back. But remember, if I happen to go through anything too quickly, put your question in the chat. We have a whole chat crew. You've already met them. They're here to help and answer questions. So let's go over our goals for the day. What we want to do is talk about college placement requirements because we all know about testing, but it's really about college placement. Then we want to talk about taking the TSI during COVID-19. That's super important because that's kind of the time that we're in. So we want to give you those guidelines. We lastly want to also end with free test prep resources because we want you to be successful. We don't just want to tell you what to do. We want to be able to help you in doing it well. And once again, put those questions in the chat. We're here for you. So let's start with college placement. All college students need college placement. And all college placement is it's a way to start you in college level classes. It just tells us a starting point. So college placement does not tell you you're ending. It does not tell you where you're going to go. It just tells you where you're going to start. So we have many stories of students who start with developmental math, developmental English, go on to college algebra, trigonometry, pre-calculus, calculus, and then transfer with an associate's in engineering and become an engineer. There's no end to your future. We just have to find out where you're going to start in the path. So I want you to just calm down with college placement. There's no way to pass, fail. Look, college placement is just your starting place. So the most common way traditionally has been the TSI. So that's why you always hear about testing when it comes to college placement, because the most common methods are testing. So how do you get your college placement? That's a great question. As I said before, TSI, SAT, ACT, those are traditional options. You can also use prior college credit if you've already taken college classes. Some programs will let you complete college placement while you're taking the courses. For instance, our welding program, if you happen to go all the way from a certificate to an AAS degree. So one of the common myths, and I hinted at this before, is I need to pass TSI. It's not about pass fail. It's just where do you need to start. So that's why the stress level should just be melting away. That's what we want. We want less stress because you don't really need to pass or fail. It's not a pass fail thing. It's where you're going to start. So now the big question is, do you have to take TSI? Do you? Let's try to see. There are some easy categories. Are you a veteran? If you are, you're TSI exempt. Are you transferring to Lone Star College from another college? Remember, if you already have college credit, you're probably TSI exempt. Are you a current ESL student? This doesn't make you TSI exempt. We just want you to wait to take TSI. Take your ESL classes first, then you can take TSI for those college level placement. Are you studying a workforce certificate? You might be TSI exempt, depending on the workforce certificate. It depends. So really when we're talking about, do I need to take TSI? We are going to talk about it subject by subject. That's the only way for us to really answer this question. But we want to start with this fact. All college students must take TSI. They must do it if they have to have college placement. So that's where we start at. We're assuming that you need college placement, and TSI has traditionally been the way that students get it. So we're going to start with that. We're just going to start there. If you're a credit student, if we didn't already exempt you with the other categories, you're going to have to take TSI. Let's start there. So since we're starting there, we need to tell you the cost. TSI is $10 a subject. Now, while we're doing a virtual situation, we have a partnership with a third-party company that's charging currently $20 a student for a virtual proctoring test session. That is the current information, but for the test, it's $10 per subject. So this is the full guide on how you can exempt TSI through other traditional methods. So this is where we're on that Hollywood tour, right? Get your cameras out, passing by someone famous's house, take that picture, you know, they're getting their mail, want to take that picture out. This is what you want to take the picture because you might want to look at this later, right? So go ahead and take a screenshot. This is a great moment. I'll leave it up here for another couple seconds. And so while it's up, we're going to talk about it section by section. I don't want you to be overwhelmed with it. We're going to spend a lot of time talking on this because y'all want to know, how can I be exempt from TSI based on some of my other credit and test scores? Let's start with SAT. Now, SAT, I think, is one of the easier ways to exempt TSI because either you have this score or you don't. If you have a 530 on the math, you are exempt from the math TSI. You just need to submit those official scores, go to College Board, and make that happen. If you make a 480 on your ERWS section of the SAT, you're actually exempt from not just reading, but also writing. So that's 2 exemptions for just 1 score. So that's super cool. That means you go to collegeboard.org, you submit your official scores to Lone Star, you're going to be able to be exempt from TSI and ready to go into college level classes. Next, let's look at ACT. Same concept, little variation. First, you have to have a 23 on the composite. If you don't have a 23 on the composite, we cannot look at your individual subject scores for the ACT. If you have a 23 on the composite, then we can look at your individual scores. And if you have a 19 on the math, you're exempt from TSI math. And if you have a 19 on ACT English, you're exempt from reading TSI and writing TSI. So that's cool too. Now, a lot of students are here from CyFair ISD. If you're here from CyFair ISD, go ahead, put your school in the chat. We know y'all are here. Y'all are always repping hard. Love it. So if you're here from CyFair ISD, this is your moment to listen up. Maybe you took advanced algebra. If you took advanced algebra, that's the on-level advanced algebra, what that means is you have to make a 75 or above in that class. And if you did, you're exempt from TSI as well. If you took English 4L, then you can make a 75 or above as well and be exempt from reading TSI and writing TSI. That's our CyFair ISD CARE partnership. And it's only for advanced algebra and English 4L. I know there are a lot of other math classes that are, you know, more advanced, lesser, however it is. It's just a partnership for those classes, those 2 classes. So where are the dual credit students at? A ton of dual credit. This doesn't just qualify for CyFair ISD dual credit. It's any dual credit student anywhere in our nation because you did your dual credit through probably a local community college or a state school. So that's the same as a college credit. We're going to take that and use that as a way to potentially exempt you from TSI. So if you pass a dual credit college algebra class, you're exempt from TSI math. If you pass a dual credit college English, and there are a few different variations of those, you're exempt from TSI reading and TSI writing. So we also have another caveat. Some of y'all took college level classes and y'all weren't dual credit. Y'all either had an extra summer, right? You didn't go to camp, so your mom put you into class, whatever it was. Or maybe you just wanted to get a head start, save some money. That's amazing. That's a baller. You're now probably going to be able to do something like study abroad in college with your extra hours you're bringing in. So if you happen to already take a college algebra level class or higher, you should be exempt from math TSI. We're going to need those official transcripts though. So if you took college English 1 or higher, then you could potentially be exempt from reading and writing TSI both. That's amazing. So I want to make sure you know how to handle this. If you have test scores, you need to go to where you took the test. So College Board or ACT, go to those websites and get them sent to Lone Star. Log into your account. If you forgot your password, just redo your password, hit forgot password, send those scores to us. That takes about a week. So you want to make sure you get those in. If you did CyFair ISD CARE, you're good to go. You just attend orientation. We're going to already be asking you those questions to get that credit. If you took dual credit or college level classes anywhere except for Lone Star, you need to send those official transcripts to us. And our chat crew is going to put it in the chat. The email is registrar@lonestar.edu, but you don't send it. You need to have your school send it electronically to us. We cannot accept an official transcript from students. We can only accept the electronic copy from the institution. So if you are in the last two categories of dual credit student outside of Lone Star, or you took college credit outside of Lone Star and you want to be exempt, make sure to send us your official electronic transcript to registrar@lonestar.edu. That's the best way to go. But I want to finish this up and let y'all know, it doesn't have to just go straight across. You can use SAT Math and CARE from CyFair ISD English Level 4. L, you can do that. You can mix and match to get your college level placement based on the subjects. So I just want to make sure to make that point. That's why you want to take a picture of the chart so you can see where you fit in the chart. So, what if you don't fit in the chart and you need to take the TSI? That's cool. A lot of students do. So I'm going to make a bold claim. If you want to schedule a remote TSI placement test, you can easily do it from our lonestar.edu website. Easily. Let's investigate. First, we're going to open up a browser. Got to start there. Then we're going to go to lonestar.edu/testing. This is our main testing website. You can search testing. It'll take you right here. So we're going to click placement testing first because that's what you're doing. Now, we do offer testing for online classes. That's instructional testing. This is placement testing for students entering college. So this is our placement testing website. The address is there. Feel free to take as many screenshots as you want, but it's super easy to find your way around Lone Star's website so you can follow along, and I'm sure you'll be able to recreate it. Scroll on down. So if you scroll down, you're going to see something right there in the middle of the page. Right above where it says remote testing process, you're going to see a link to the remote test form. Let's click that link. Once we click that link, we have a form that has so much good information. A lot of the information at the top is the type of information that we just went over to tell you exactly where you need to look and different factors you need to consider. Like if you're an ESL student or if you're needing to do non-credit programs, to make sure you don't take a test that you don't need to take. So make sure to look right there. But this is where you need to fill out. Name, information, fill all that information out properly. You can do it by hand and take a picture, or you can do it electronically. So let's say we're going to fill out that information. We see Cy the Falcon. He has a really cool student ID number, so we're good on that part. That part's filled out. What's next? Now we need to fill out what test we're going to take. So you're taking the TSI. Are you going to take all parts, or are you going to take subject by subject? That's why we had you look at the college placement chart to see where you would be in that TSI exemption, to see what test you would take. Once you're done filling out this form, you're going to email it right there. That's our testing center email address. So let's go back to the main testing website. I got more to show you. Placement testing again. This time though, scroll down further. So once we get down here, we're going to look at the remote testing process altogether. First, we already know we've walked through a couple of these steps, but I want to highlight a step that we really haven't spoken about, and that's the complete PAA. That stands for pre-assessment activity, and you can find that in your My Lone Star account. It's required. You have to do it. All you have to do is go to my.lonestar.edu, then choose the applicant tile, then choose complete pre-assessment activity. And y'all, this thing is super easy and very helpful. It just takes a few minutes to do, and all it's going to do is show you some sample questions for the test and give you some study resources you can click and consider. Only takes a few minutes. So for those who've already done it, put in the chat if it's easy, yes or no if it's easy. I promise y'all, it's super easy and you have to do it, so definitely take care of that. The next step after that is to pay for the test. And all you would do is click on that marketplace link that's right there, and it's going to take you to our marketplace website to allow you to pay. So this is our marketplace website when you choose that link. And then you're going to choose exams on the left side, right there. Once you choose exams, you'll be able to choose CyFair Testing Center. That's who you're testing with. Then at the bottom of the screen, it'll give you a drop-down menu for exams to choose from. And when you choose that link, it'll take you to the menu. Here's the full menu of tests. I believe you're going to be choosing TSI by section because it's easier to break it up, take it piece by piece, take the time where you're not taking the full test together. Then just choose your section. Once you do that, you're going to choose continue. Now, this is going to take you to a very simple checkout screen. And that checkout screen is like you'd see at Amazon or Walmart.com, anything. Check out, pay by credit card, and make it happen. Now, let's go back to the Testing Center website. I love this website because it has so many good resources. So we're going to choose placement testing because that's what we're doing here. Go back to this website that we know and love, and we're going to scroll to the right just a little bit. Because right here, we're going to find an amazing link you're going to love. Placement test preparation. Because we want to prepare for it. We don't just want to take it. We want to destroy it. We want to do amazing at it. Placement test preparation, let's click that. So now we're on our placement test preparation website. And the link is right there for you. Our chat crew is going to be putting in the chat so you can click it and bookmark it as well. So let's scroll on down. Y'all know the drill. Test preparation workshops, y'all. We have review sessions, virtual sessions for y'all. Now, CyFair is sitting right there at the top, and y'all know y'all have to notice it. And you know why we're at the top? Because we're number one. Now, we might be up there because it's alphabetical order, but the only way to really prove that is to change the name of our college and then see what happens. So for now, I'm just going to go with we're number one. That's why we're at the top. It's super convenient for you right there. So we're going to want you to click view our placement test review sessions. This is going to take you to our CyFair Learning website. This is the Academic Success Center where we have free tutoring. Yes, free tutoring. I love it. So all you're going to do here is click to access your online free tutoring. Once you go there, it'll take you to a registration page where you can choose what type of tutoring you need. For us, it's going to be TSI Prep. Because you're not taking classes yet, once you are, you'll choose regular tutoring. After that, it's going to allow you to choose the time, the date for the open review sessions, and you'll be able to join in. It's amazing that you can get free tutoring on demand when you choose and schedule it. So it's 100% free. You can choose the next scheduled session. Do this, y'all. It's amazing to be able to get that personal help. So I've been hiding something from y'all, and I kind of have to let you know. There is breaking testing news. And we don't really have breaking testing news often. You know, they don't really change tests that much. But this is huge, y'all. Because of COVID-19, we now have a way to place you into classes, because that's what you want. It's not about the TSI. It's about college placement. We have a way to do this with your high school transcript. So let's go back to our placement test preparation website. The link is right there. We put it in the chat for you, so you can definitely bookmark it. If you scroll over just a little bit, look to the right just a bit, you'll be able to see we have a lot of helpful links for documents. Some of these documents are practice tests and practice sample questions and review modules and other things that can help you. But what we want to focus in on is the COVID-19 transcript placement options. This is huge. The COVID-19 transcript placement option. So let's click that. This is going to give you a chart that will show you, based on the high school class you took, that's right there on the left side of the screen, that class will give you college credit. Now, TSI only gives you credit up to the classes that are on the far right side of the screen. So you could potentially get more college placement than TSI using your high school transcript. And you can only use your high school transcript if you didn't take TSI. It's to be used instead of TSI. So before you schedule TSI testing, I think you should look here to consider if maybe you want to use your high school senior level math class. High school transcripts are valid for 5 years. So you can be using your high school senior level classes from a few years ago to get college placement. Next, let's look at English. Same concept as before. Based on your senior level English class, you can get college placement. So submitting your high school transcripts are super important. They're gonna put the email, once again, registrar@lonestar.edu. Our chat crew's gonna put in the chat. You need to request your high school to send an official electronic copy of your transcript to that email address. If you do that, you will be able to get college placement using your high school transcript. That's amazing. So we are finished. I am now here to give you links. This is information. Another one of those screenshot moments. We're at the end of our tour, so get your phone out, take that screenshot. Look, I'm gonna go through a few of the links because these are really helpful. You already know the testing websites at the top. There's also a phone number for you. You can leave a voicemail with your question and callback information. We also have our placement test information as well as TSI test prep information. We have free TSI tutoring. That's the link right there. You can get your TSI scores to us. If you took your TSI somewhere else, you can use that link to get your scores sent to us. Then we also allow you to RSVP for a future College 101 session. We're doing these sessions every day of the week, so there are tons of information, tons of cool things you can learn to make you a better future Lone Star student. Lastly, you can send your unofficial scores to cf-admissions@lonestar.edu if you're waiting on your official scores so you can register for classes. But if you haven't done orientation, go ahead and just wait on your official scores so they'll all be in together. Make sure, send your official scores by going to collegeboard.org or ACT.org and getting those sent to Lone Star College. You can send them to any of the Lone Star colleges and they will still work for any of the other Lone Star colleges that you might attend. So I'm really, really glad you're here. I hope I'm able to just lower the stress because y'all, there's no pass fail. We just want to know where we can start you in classes, and we have a lot of ways to do that. High school transcript is the new #1 way to do it, so make sure you're requesting your official high school transcript to be sent by your high school to our registrar@lonestar.edu email. I'm so glad I was able to give this information to you. Hope those stress levels are down. I'm going to hand it back to the host. Take care, y'all.